Today, we are going to talk about the email marketing tab inside of your high level accounts. And so, right now we're looking at the email marketing tab, and I wanted to use this account so you guys can see what a live account looks like. I don't think that it really helps you too much to not see data. Now, what we're looking for here in the email marketing statistics, we are looking to meet a certain benchmark. The average that you're looking for is like 35 to 50% for open emails. And then you want to have about a 2% click rate. Now, this is important to know because those are benchmarks that we want to strive for. However, this is one of those things that it's important to know why you're getting these numbers and not necessarily mean that you have to meet every benchmark or do everything that every person who's doing online marketing tells you to do. It's great to know the benchmarks, but in this example, I am not meeting benchmarks simply because I am sending out emails 6 days a week. Most people do not send out 6 emails a week, but I have to do that because I'm live and we have the podcast and then we have the newsletter for the community. So I send out massive emails. Also, another thing is most of the emails that I send are notifications for the community. And so it makes perfect sense that people may not open the email, but they just go to the community every day. So those are the reasons why I don't get the benchmark. But really, at the end of the day, these are just guides for you. These are not things that you're just basically failing in business if you don't meet those benchmarks. I just wanted to drive that home for you because this is one of those things that people get stuck on. They obsess over it. And in reality, what you need to obsess over, the only thing that you need to obsess over is sales. Essentially, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what these numbers say. What matters is the number of sales that you're actually making every month. So that's my little speech on that. Let's talk about this actual feature. So we have the statistics here, and you can look through the statistics by all of them. The email campaigns are the ones that you send here through the system. Workflow campaigns are the ones that you send through the automation tab in an actual workflow. And bulk actions are the campaigns that you send when you're in the contacts tab. So if you don't know what I'm talking about there, definitely go back to the contacts training and I show how to send those emails in bulk through that. So that's what all of those different areas mean. And you can sort through all of those just by toggling this here. Now you'll see how many delivered, open, clicked, and how many products are ordered. If you are selling products inside of your emails, you can also search here or choose the date range that you want to search by. You can check out some sample data here and you can create a campaign, which we're going to do that in just a minute. Now you have all of the emails that have been delivered within this time frame here. So you can see that, how many have bounced, how many unsubscribed, and how many spam complaints. Let's say that I was only sending emails once a week, and obviously that would be a much larger amount of emails that get sent. And also I would have more open rates because people aren't always seeing my emails. But this is a really key factor because this is going to tell you if you have a large unsubscribe, that tells you that your emails are not being perceived as valuable to the people who are receiving it. 3 unsubscribes for the amount of emails I send is excellent. Bounced emails, if you're getting a lot of those, that means that you need to make sure that you have your email cleaning steps in place. And I have training on all of that as well. It's basically just automations that help you keep your email clean, make sure that you're sending to the right people who are actually opening your emails. And again, we talk about all of that. There's training on that in the course area. Spam complaints, again, these are people that maybe they don't recognize you or they don't remember signing up for your email campaign, or you fraudulently signed them up, which people do that to me all the time. They take my email and register me for webinars I know nothing about, and then I'm getting reminder emails about this webinar I never registered for. So if you do that to me, you're getting marked as spam, and that's what everyone is going to do, which is why I don't know why people do that, but that's another training for another day. All right, so we have the open rate for all campaigns here, how many total delivered or how many opened, and then we can also toggle by the different criteria here and then see this graph to help us get a visual representation. So down here, you can see the top performing emails. I can toggle this over to show the statistics and numbers if I want to, but you can see all the ones delivered, the open rate and the click-through rate and the specific email here that was delivered. Now, in the campaigns area, again, we have the email campaigns, workflow campaigns, and bulk action campaigns. And these are the ones that have already been sent or it has been scheduled. You also have the templates here, and that's what we're going to create together, because the templates are what you're going to be able to use when you are sending bulk emails or in the workflows. You always see that option where you can choose an email template, and that's what we're going to create here. So we need to create a template so that we can create a campaign. Let's say that you want to create an email sequence and you want 7 different emails and you want to use, I call this the pretty email editor, because you can definitely go in the automations tab and just type out your emails in the box provided there. But if you want them to be like the pretty email where you have all the design functions and adding your logo and the footer and all of those cool things, and it's going to have different content, then you need to create templates for each one. But you can easily create the template and then just add your new content. So rather than just tell you all of those things, let's actually create one. Now, I could create one with AI here, and I could say, let's say, create a promotional email for high level, and then generate the template. And then the AI is actually going to design the template for me, and it's going to add the content here. All right. So we have the email here. You'll see it's added the colors here based off of my brand. It's added some content, transform your business with high level, start your free trial, why choose high level, and then it adds some more content and creates the images here. Pretty good, you guys, based off of just the basic information that I gave it. And then, of course, we could come back through here and we could change all the elements. We could change the colors, we could change the text and all of that, but definitely really cool. Now, what I want to do is just go back and I want to create one from blank just to show you guys that process. So we're going to click here to create a new one. We can create a template from an existing campaign. So if you've already created it and sent it out and you just want to use it again as a template, you can do that. We also have some email marketing templates that you'll see here that you can choose from. If you like the design of one of these, you can just pull that in. You also can use a blank template here, or you can actually import email templates from MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Kajabi, or even others. So this is really important to note because you or your clients may be using something for their emails already. And one of the biggest obstacles that agencies have when talking to these clients is they don't want to have to recreate all their email templates to be able to set up their campaigns. If that is the case, you can actually easily import any of those from these options here into high level, and then they can start using those templates here. So I'm just going to create one from blank here. And when you create one from blank, you can use the design editor, which most of us want to use. You can use the code editor if you want to edit it with HTML. And you can also use the plain text editor, which is like the editor in the workflow builder. It's just really basic, none of the bells and whistles. But if you want to really create the pretty ones, we want to choose the design editor. So I'm going to click there to select that. And you'll see here we have the starting point, which is the little link here so that they can view the email content in the browser. And you also have some text here that we can start with. Now we can drag in any of these elements here into the email and start editing. So for example, I could drag in an image element here. You'll see here that I can click and I can create this image using AI, or I can upload it from the media library. So let's say that I wanted to upload this picture of me grabbing my award. I could do that there. I could also add some alternate text. I can make this image redirect to another link, and I can adjust the size, the block background color, and I could align it to the left, center, right, or the full area here. And I can also choose the visibility of this element. And these are basically the same regardless of which element you choose. You can choose whether you want it to be visible on all devices, desktop, mobile. You could also choose some conditional sending here. So in this case, let's say if the AI adds licenses is this specific number, for example. So that's how you want to use the conditional logic. Now, I do prefer to just use this in a workflow, but everyone has different strategies and purposes. And so it's important to note that you can do that. Now, if I go to add another image here, you'll see we have some buttons. So I'm just going to drag these in so you can see what they look like. And again, you'll see the button here. We can add the text. We could also use custom values. We could use trigger links. We could change the font and the style and the color. The actions could be to email, download a file, a telephone number, like making an actual call, send an SMS. We could add that link here. We could change the background color. And so you see all of those customizations. We could add our logo up here to the top, and you'll see that it actually brings it in from our account data. So I don't even need to add that. We could also add a divider down here if we want to make our emails look really cool. We could change the color here. So let's make this just red so it shows up. And we could make this, let's say 50% instead of 100%. So you can see how to do that. And we could even change the height if we want. Here we have the ability to add our social channels. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag that in here. And you can see that you just click there and add your own link. You could also delete some of these if you want to, and you can adjust the padding as well. We have the footer. One thing that's really cool when you design your footer here and you set everything up as you want it, you'll see it does already have the unsubscribe link. What's cool about this is you can actually save these elements. So when I drag this in, you'll see we have this option here, which allows us to drag it around. We can move it up, we can move it down, we can duplicate this element here. So you'll see that. Let me just delete it. You can do that there. You can also choose to show or hide on mobile or desktop. If you zoom in there, you can see those options as well. So this right here toggles on and off the conditional sending here. So if you did want to add this element with the conditional sending, that is what that is. Now you can also save this. A lot of times we create these assets like the footer, for example, and we want to use them in every email, but we don't want to have to recreate them. So if that's the case, you can actually just click here and it will save this element, and then you'll be able to grab that element over here in the saved area, and you'll just drag that into whatever email you want. So you can see here, I have my basic email footer that I use all the time that I've already designed. And so that's what this looks like. Of course, it's all the way up there. So I could just drag this all the way down below that. So we have these panels just like the websites, and then we have these elements within the panel. So just note which one that you're editing just to make sure that you have the right one. So we can also embed codes into the email. We could add videos here. We could also add a shopping cart. So if we are selling things, remember I just showed you that you can track your orders. You could actually add this item here and sell different products. We have the RSS header and the items. Now, I do have training on this as well. If you are familiar with RSS feeds, this allows you to set up a one-time campaign for whatever RSS link that you're using, and it will pull in the data from that RSS feed, and it will create the email, and then it will automatically send it definitely check out that training if you are unfamiliar with how to use this, because it's really incredible. It's like really set it and forget it. You could use RSS feeds for blogs, YouTube channels, all kinds of things. We have this FAQ section here, which allows you to, just like it says, build out the FAQs, and it makes it like a collapsible menu. So if we go preview this, which we can do up here in the right-hand column, I don't know why it's not showing anything here. I think because I have to save it. So let's save the template. So let's see, sync changes. All right, so that's a cool thing. We can check that out there. That allows us to see all of the different changes that have been made. Let me try to save this. I'm afraid to refresh. Let's try it. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. All right. So let's just drag an image in here, and let's drag my little footer in here so you can see how awesome and fast that is. All right, let's save. All right, saving now. Of course, we want to name our template here so that we can come back. Let's just say demo. And we can see what this looks like on the, obviously, the edited version and desktop and mobile. So if we want to edit that, we can also preview this, and we can view what it looks like on desktop, tablet, and mobile, just to make sure it has the look that we're going for. We can also click these three dots here and send a test email. We can see different versions of the email. Let's click there and see we have this. So because we didn't save it, it's not going to show up as a version. I just was curious if that would show up. We can adjust the settings here, and the settings for an email template, you want to choose the from name. You could also choose the from email, the subject line, and the preview text. You can also use any of the custom values in that information if you want to. Now, when you set up this template and you choose the subject line, that is going to be pulled into the template. So we've created this template, and for the sake of just helping you to understand how all this works, let's put some text in here, and let's save that again. If we've created our template, and let's say that now we have a 7-day email sequence that we want to send out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back now that I have that, and I want to create a new campaign. All right, not a template. I want to create a new campaign. So I'm going to go here to the campaigns, but I do want to let you know we do have the ability to create folders. So if you start noticing all of these get to be a hot mess, you can organize them with folders. You can choose this option here to search the most recent. You can also choose this option here to put them in list form. You could type in a specific email template or campaign that you're looking for. And you could also choose from these filters here to help you search through all of those. You can click here to set your email settings. So your attribution window, attributed all campaigns or campaigns with product, for example, verified sender emails. You can verify an email sender preferences. You can set all of that there. The different fonts that you want to use for your emails, tracking, and even your unsubscribe automations. So all of that you can set before creating the email, and then it makes it like global settings for the emails. So now to create a campaign, I want to click here to create new. Again, I could choose blank, email templates, or my own templates. I want to choose the template that I just created. So I'm going to click here for your templates. And the one that we created was demo. So I'm just going to select that, and I'm going to choose the checkbox here. And now we can add any of that content that we want to. So let's say that this is email 1, and we can save that. Now we can go ahead and send this email. All right. Now, if we send the email, of course, we can send it now. We can schedule it. So you can see those options here. We can batch schedule. So if we wanted to drip it out or say every day on Monday between these times, we want to send the email. Here is the RSS schedule. That's what I was talking about, where you can create that email template. You can add your RSS feed here, choose the day and time that you want it to send, the sender email it's coming from, and then once you set that up, it will automatically, every time it has a new article based on your settings here, it will go ahead and send the email. You also have a new option here, which is Smart Send. So this is going to send your email campaigns at the best time automatically. And this is based off of the user actions. So if that contact typically opens up their emails at 9 a.m., it's going to send to that contact at 9 a.m. I'm going to go back here now to the send. And you'll see, again, you can add your sender email, your sender name. You can add the subject line here. You can even use the content AI to create the subject line for you. You can add some preview text. Now, this is the really important part here. We need to decide who is going to receive this email that we're scheduling to send. So we can choose the different contacts, and you can see I can select all contacts here if I want to, or I can choose specific contacts by choosing that list there. And then we also can choose the send to smart list. Now you can see here, I have one called newsletter, and I've created the smart list so that it only has people that have a valid email and they have opened the email in 30 days and they have clicked in an email. And I think they even have a specific engagement score. So I have all of this criteria before anyone can even end up in this newsletter list. So if I want to select the newsletter, you can see I only have less than 1,500 contacts that I actually send newsletters to. And given that my open rate is not that high, if I did reduce my criteria, like if they have opened an email in 30 days, maybe I want to reduce that to 14 days to make sure that I am only sending to people who actually are opening the emails, because that will do damage to your email sending reputation and all of those things. I have complete training on how to keep your email list clean and all of that. Now, you also can choose the contacts that you want to send here from specific tags. You can also choose any pre-built campaigns or segments that you have. For example, if I only want to send to contacts that have engaged in the last 30 days, I can choose this option here. However, I will say that it's better to create a smart list, because this option here does not allow us to only choose people who have a valid email, a specific engagement score, and all of that. But if you just want to send to those specific segments, you can do that there. Now, we can also build segments, and we can say, if this tag is this, that is the segment that I want, or if they are in this smart list, or if they're in this pre-built segment, I could choose any of those options there. Now, we do have some additional settings here, so we can track the clicks. We have the UTM tracking, we can add tags here, and we can even resend emails if they did not open it. And we want to put the time that we want to send it, like after 12 hours, for example. And then we can also add the subject line here to let them know, hey, we resent it because you didn't open it, kind of thing. Now we can also click here and we can test the email. We can see the version history. We can check out the file attachments. We can preview, save, and we can review and send it to our email list. Now, if I built out the 7 different email templates that I needed, I could schedule them all out like this, but often we have automations, like they fill out a form and then we want to send them an email campaign and we want to drip that out to them. So the best way is to build out the templates. So once you have all of those set as you want them, we're going to go to the automations tab. We're going to create an automation, and the trigger of this automation is going to be whatever it was that made you want to send them the email. So we'll say in this case a form, because typically it is a form. Let's choose that specific form for whatever lead magnet funnel. Let's just say this one. And then what we'd want to do is choose the email option. So we're going to send an email and we're going to choose that specific template. So we would choose demo here. Now, of course, we can add attachments here. We can check out and edit the design. We can sync edits to the template. We can track the clicks and all of those things here, but we can also just save the action. So let's say I now want to wait a day and I want to send them the next email. So I'm going to choose to wait 1 day, and then I'm going to send them another email. So I'm going to copy this. Let's go back down here and paste. But now, instead of this one, I want to choose the demo 2 one. That's how you want to build out your email sequences if you want to use the marketing templates. Now, if I didn't want to use those pre-built templates and I just wanted to come in here and create my email, that's fine. I can use the quick compose, which is this here. I can just write out my email. I can use from the smart builder and I can select any of this here. Or like I just showed you, you can use any of the templates you've already created. And you can also browse the template library here right inside of the workflows. So that is really everything that you need to know about the email marketing tab inside of High Level. I hope you guys have an awesome day and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.